Hi everyone, it's Dragon Diaries series here for you. This is episode 9. We only have a few more until the end of the year. What I've been doing is, because it is the year of the dragon, and in particular the year of the wood dragon, I went in and found all the attributes, okay, all the characteristics of the wood dragon, that energy, and I'm doing a reading on different ones each month. So you can go back and look, they're timeless messages, okay? But this time it's about being ambitious, okay? Because that's one of the wood dragon's attributes, very ambitious. So where can you turn the dial for ambition up in your life, okay? Where can you be more ambitious? We're going to be talking about that. You can choose your pile. You can watch 1, 2. You can watch all 3 if you're called to. I've also put some crystals out. I'll tell you what they are if that helps you to choose, okay? So pile 1 is Brecciated Jasper. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Pile 2 is Black Obsidian. And pile 3 is Rhodonite, not rhodochrosite. That's different. I always try to differentiate between the two. To make sure you understand, this is Rhodonite. Okay, so whatever pile number, whatever crystal calls to you, use your intuition. And like I said, if you feel called to watch all 3, then you can do that as well. I'll see you in your pile. Hi to those of you who chose pile 1 or this Brecciated Jasper. I think they're called touchstones, okay? Because you can kind of hang on to them, and I like to just sit sometimes and rub them. But anyhow, that is your crystal. If you chose that, I'm just going to put it right over here to the side. We're going to do things a little bit different, pile 1. I know I'm doing that, but you know what? It helps me to grow as an intuitive and as a reader. So I've been very inspired by a woman who does readings, San Tarot. And I think, as far as I know, because you don't see the cards, but I know she takes a picture of them for her thumbnails. It's like she lays them all out and then goes from there. So I actually want to do that. I normally don't. I usually do them like, one question at a time, but I actually want to lay them all out and kind of look at them big picture, okay? I don't know. Maybe it's just this one reading that popped into my head. I felt that, okay, that's a message. I need to change it up in some way. So what I want to say is let's get started and see how this goes. I'm going to be doing live tarot and live oracle as well. So, stick around for that, because what's in these cards, there's going to be more messages as well. So here we go. I'm just going to lay them all out here, and then we're going to go through each one and figure this out. Okay. It feels weird to do this, but here I go, nonetheless. All right. I'm even a little nervous, which is kind of funny too, right? Like, why should I be nervous? I've done like 500 videos so far, but it just, I still feel a little nervous at times. So here we go. We're talking about ambition and being ambitious, okay? And here is something that I really, that I want to start with. First question is always, in what area of your life can you have more ambition or be more ambitious? Then we're going to talk about what could be blocking it. And then we're going to talk about how can you be more open to it. And then we're going to talk about a situation or event that may cause a bit of a challenge maybe in that area for you, like coming up, all right? An energy that'll be coming in and around you you're going to be like, uh-oh, type of thing. So, or not, it's not uh-oh necessarily in a bad way, but let's look at the cards in the reading here, pile 1. So when we're looking at where can you be more ambitious in your life, where can you turn that dial up to 10? And the first set of cards out, it's so funny. It's shadows. What are shadows? Shadows are those characteristics, those attributes, those habits, those way of being that we don't really like about ourselves necessarily. Or, sometimes it may not be that we don't like ourselves, but we're maybe disappointed in ourselves when we behave in that way, or we feel shameful when we behave in that way. We know that sometimes it's not necessarily wrong, but we know we can do better. Those are your shadows, okay? And with the Hanged Man here, it's like you know that you have them, because we all do. No one's perfect here, okay? So don't feel this is an attack, because it's not. None of us are perfect. If you chose this pile, this is a message for you. So just stick with it and we'll get through it. But it's almost like but as I always say, when we are participating or acting in, I'm going to call it quote unquote bad behavior, all right, we know better. And it's like you've almost put yourself into a hanged man position, but you're not looking at it from a different perspective. You're literally just hanging there going, oh, I just don't want to deal with this. And the reason why, sorry, I didn't say, is because it serves us in some way, for some purpose, whether it just makes us feel better about ourselves, whatever it is, it'll be different for each one of you. And it can be in any area of your life, from work to home to relationship to friends, okay? But here's the interesting thing. Why are you doing this, right? Why do any of us do it? Why do we know that we should be, I always say with the Hanged Man, we should be spinning ourselves around, looking at it from 360 and figuring out a better way. But here's the thing. You're someone, what's blocking you? You're the peacekeeper. Okay, pile one. Look, tranquility, harmonious in action. You feel, okay, and then here with the Hierophant, which is interesting, and this is going to be different for each one of you. Some of you may feel, well, you know what? If I don't do anything about it, people are used to me being this way. It won't ruffle any more feathers. Or, it's almost like if I stopped behaving this way, people are going to be like, well, what's going on? And then it's just going to cause more turmoil or upheaval or questioning, which you really don't want. So it's almost like by not acting on it, it's like harmonious in action. I feel in your mind, right? And we have the Hierophant here. And the interesting thing about the Hierophant is it's about expanding your knowledge, learning, okay? It's like being the student in this case. There is something here for you to learn. But again, I feel like you're blocking it with, you know what? This works for me. It's in my world, in my mind, this is tranquil, this is peaceful, this is harmonious. You know what? I don't want to rock the boat. Even though we're talking about shadow, I hope this is resonating for you. So when we look at that, there are lessons here that need to be learned. But I feel what's blocking you is the fact that you don't maybe want to learn the lesson, pile one. And it's not that you don't want to. I think it's fear, right? We get scared when we don't know. Like if you have shadow and you're behaving, or like I said, acting in certain ways, you don't know any different, because maybe that's the way it's always been. Maybe that's the way your entire family has been, and you don't know any different. And so it's scary on the other side of that, and that is understandable. Okay, so you can kind of see here where you're being held up. But ambition is taking the initiative, right? Having the drive, having the willpower, having the courage to face adversity is what I want to say in this reading, okay? It's the ambition that you need to crank up to 10 is being willing to take this on and work on yourself. Okay. Next we have How can you be more open to it? And I always read from the book for this card because these dragons have the best messages, okay? And with it, we have the Queen of Cups. So right away, you know, how can you be more open to this? The Queen of Cups. She's intuitive, so you're going to trust your gut feelings, which is maybe foreign for you, okay? Maybe a little difficult, but you're going to be kind and caring and nurturing to yourself, compassionate to yourself, showing your self-care and self-love, right? Being in flow, going with the flow. That is the Queen of Cups, and following intuition here, okay? And maybe see how Sansa here is praying, okay? We could call it meditating, whatever it is. I feel like that is some of it. But let's read from the book here about Avebury Matriarch. I feel a very feminine energy here with Matriarch, so it could really be talking about that divine feminine, right? But here I have the book, so, okay. All right, already, you guys. I will guide you to discover the best way to heal is the quote that's right up at the top. It says, this dragon comes in with the strength and power to delve deep into our ancestral past and bring healing. She usually follows the matriarchal line back through the passages of time. Very interesting, because I said maybe this is the way your family has always behaved. You don't know any different, right? Okay, let's keep going. She states, the time has come to release the chains that bind the continued pain from your ancestors, which has been passed down from generation to generation. You do not need to own this, as it is not and never was your pain to bear. She reassures us it is safe to explore old family hurts and release them to her. If she has shown up today in your reading, ask for the wisdom to guide you in the best way to heal the past and move forward in your life. She says, Avebury here, I will guide you to discover the best way you can heal and leave the pain of your ancestral past behind. Old family wounds only fester on a deeper level if not acknowledged and released. They serve you no purpose in your journey now. Okay, that's where I'm leaving that. I love how that tied in. I didn't read this in the book last night, when I created the piles. I didn't read the book because I love to be surprised, because honestly, it's always amazing, whatever the written passage is in the book. But I do love how just with the other cards, that kind of came up. So for some of you, this could be about old family wounds and hurts. And if you are a believer in the fact that it can also go back generations and generations with your ancestors, it just keeps getting passed down. And maybe for you, pile one, you're the one to break it, because you can break ancestral ties to certain ways of being and conditioning, okay? So, and you start with yourself. Now, the last thing I want to look at before we get into more tarot and oracle is there going to be maybe a situation or event that may cause a bit of a challenge with this, all right? Like with you needing to really look at, you need to be the hanged man that's going 360 and looking at these shadows and figuring out, I can still be tranquil and harmonious and peaceful and balanced if I don't act and behave this way, if I work on these shadows, if I learn something from it, all right? So we have here Ermed and Matilda. Now I'm going to read the card because I always am a believer that if this card come out, and then I'm going to also go with intuitively because we're asking a specific question, okay? But the card does say, you are now in need of rest and recuperation. It is only when cradled in the silence of a powerful being that you can achieve self-awareness and follow your soul path with divine clarity. Definitely tying into this with the Knight of Swords. That Knight of Swords is, he's heading out. He's ambitious. The Knight of Swords is an ambitious character, right? He's action oriented. He's driven to succeed. He's a fast, clear thinker. All right. So just remember that. But what I want to say here is there's going to be a situation, an event, a person, whatever this is, it's going to come in and it's going to challenge this for you, okay? Because what's going to happen, you're going to, let's just say it's about being combative with others. I'll use that as an example, and then, you know, it may resonate for someone, but also for if that doesn't resonate, think of it in these terms. You're someone that maybe one of the shadows here is you're very combative. In situations, you tend to be a little combative, okay? You have no problem speaking your mind. You have no problem telling people the way it is or the way you think it should be, but you don't do it in a very diplomatic way, okay? So, say for example, I feel like that's a situation that's going to be coming up. You're going to start working on this pile 1 because you're seeing that there's work that can be done here, and someone's going to come in and challenge that with you, where you're going to maybe step back and you're going to go, I don't need to act like that. I can still have peace and harmony and balance in my life. If, you know, maybe you get, you know, what is the saying? You get more bees with honey. I'm going to try the honey, but someone's going to challenge you. Well, you're kind of cradled in this Avebury matriarch energy, Queen of Cups, mothering energy, and you're working on this and you're doing really well and you're trying really hard, and a situation's going to come in and they're not going to be aware of it necessarily, or in some cases, it could be, especially if it's family, and they're going to be like, who do you think you are being all honey here? Like, what's going on? And it's going to challenge you because you're going to want to clap back, okay? But here's the thing. You need to be clear of mind. You need to remember that you've turned that ambition dial up to 10 because you're working on this. So when that situation comes up, okay, or event or person, whatever it is, that's going to cause you to want to, I'll just say, lack of a better phrase, lash out, remember this reading. Okay, now, the other thing I want to do is pull some tarot right now, just for further clarification, confirmation, advice, guidance, okay, of what's already on the table, okay, pile 1. So you need to, like I keep saying, repeat, turn that ambition dial up. You know, we're ambitious about tons of things in our life, but it tends to not be when it comes to our own selves. We kind of turn that dial down. Okay, there's 1, 2. Let's get one more. Oh, wow. Okay. I love these 2 cards so far. But I do want 3. Oh, I feel like it was that one. Normally I take the top, but that kind of flicked. Oh, wow, you guys. Okay, 2 kings here. Number 1, so judgment, okay? I'm going to say just very simply, don't hold yourself in judgment here. You do what it is that you're working on. Okay, try not to judge the others, but also with this judgment card, just so you know, this is you realizing that there is a different way to be in your life. This is you realizing that you can rise above this pettiness, or whatever you want to call it over here. All right, this is you realizing, like the trumpet's being blown, I need to rise to the trumpet. Okay, I need to start ascending. I need to start raising my vibration. I need to start being the best version of myself that I can be. Okay, with the King of Swords, okay, let me talk about these 2 kings because it's perfect. King of Swords, he is mentally clear, he is intellectually smart, he's truthful, and he's an authoritarian, but I want to say in a good way. Be careful, because sometimes it can turn. But for all intents and purposes here, it's being the authority in your own life and being clear, okay, and setting boundaries and being smart, but truthful about things, but being smart in maybe the way you communicate it here with the swords. Okay, really taking control of your thoughts, words, and action. All right, King of Wands, they want you to take on that energy, because that is the inspired, passionate energy that's going to help you keep that dial of ambition up on 10. Okay, because this king is all about being inspired, taking inspired action, being passionate about what it is that he's doing, being able to see big picture with you know, really great long-term vision, okay? And that's what they want you to take on, because they want you to imagine what your life will be, not harmonious in action, but with harmonious action, okay? So, loving that. We're going to get another couple of dragon cards here too, because, you know, this is a dragon reading, and I love to use all of my dragon decks. This card came out. Orange Gold Dragon from Arcturus. Opens you to knowledge for the golden age. Carry the energy of the future. Be a guiding light. I just talked about being able to see big picture, being able to have long-term vision, okay? That's why this card came out of the deck on its own. Right there, be a guiding light, okay? But most important, carry the energy of the future. Oh, I hate it when my cards get messed up, you guys. Okay, so let me just set that there. Now, this deck here, I always talk about it, and if you've been watching these readings, they're one of my favorite decks. I think it's one of the first decks I ever got to, because I saw it on another reading and I was like, oh my God, those are the prettiest cards ever, because it's like a dragon, butterfly, and flower. But there's always a little message with it too, okay? Usually something that can help keep you. When the going gets tough, this will help keep you on track. I always say it's that type of thing. There's usually some questions in the book. So, inspiration. We've been talking about being inspired here, you guys, okay? We've been talking about being inspired. All right, let me go to inspiration and get, sometimes there's one, sometimes there's two questions that you can ask yourself on the daily. How can I open myself to inspiration? And what am I doing to help refill my well? We talked about self-care, self-love, compassion, nurture yourself, be kind to yourself, refilling that well. That's what that's doing on an emotional level, right? So, because we have the Queen of Cups here. So, what am I doing to help refill my well? And how can I open myself to inspiration? We said, how can you be more open to this change in your life? So there you go. The other thing I like to do is just very quickly tell you the flower is a lupin. Okay, maybe that means something to you. Maybe purple lupins mean something to you. And the butterfly, which you see here because it's a butterfly dragon, is the goat weed leaf wing. So you may want to look up that butterfly. There could be something about it that means something to you. Okay. But the other thing I like to do is I like to just come in like this and just kind of go to a sentence or an area. And here, research and integrate ideas and experiences into your daily life that align with what you want to accomplish. Okay, there we go. That's that. And then I have one last oracle here for us, okay, before we go pile one. Thank you for being here. If you want to check out the other piles, go ahead. If you want to go check out my other readings, they're in the playlist. If you appreciate the work, the time that's gone into this reading, hit that like button, okay? If this reading actually resonates and means something for you this month, then please hit that like button, okay? Any action that you give to my channel, or interaction you give with my channel, helps my channel. I'm slowly growing. I've gotten, a few hundred new subscribers. So slowly and surely and steadily, I will win the race with getting these messages out. Because I want YouTube to start spreading them. Here we go. Oh, you guys, look at this card. Don't be imprisoned by your past. Create a brand new you. Hold that vision. Pile one, I say no more. This was a beautiful reading for you. I wish you luck whenever we have to go in and do work on ourselves. It's, it can be difficult. It can be tiring. It can be taxing. It can just be, a bit of a a bit of a chore, but you know what? It's so worth it in the end. And remember, when you are faced in this situation, event, whatever it may be, stand your ground here, okay? Because you have turned that dial up to 10 for a reason. Don't turn it back down to 1 or 2 because of one situation, event, or person. Pile 1, thank you. I really appreciate your time and your support. Hi to those of you who chose pile 2 or this beautiful black shiny obsidian, okay, touchstone, okay? So I'm going to set that right over here for you. I'm doing things a little bit different. I've been talking about it in each pile now. Well, I've only done pile 1, you're pile 2, but there is a reader, Santero, and I know her thumbnail is always a picture of all the cards, and I know she puts those cards out and she reads like that. Am I a reader like her? No, we read in totally different ways, but I like that style. And I felt strongly, so when it popped into my mind, I was like, oh, okay, maybe I will lay all the cards out and kind of go from there. Could it just be for this one reading because it makes sense and that's why Spirit popped it in? Maybe. We'll see what happens next month. But for right now, that's what I'm going to do. But I'm also going to be doing more live tarot and oracle at the end. So stick around because there's going to be more messages than what's just in these 4 sets. Okay. So let's get right at it. We're going to be talking about, let me get them all out here. Let me get them. And remember, some of these can be individual messages and you know, for the most part, they're all going to tie together. When I was making the piles, I did look at them, you know, a bit. Again, I did them last night, so, you know, I have the memory of a sieve nowadays. So what I read and saw last night and what I'm remembering right now are 2 different things. But that's why these are a combination reading of intuition and the cards. All right. Now, the other thing, I read from the book for this dragon. I did not read that last night because I love to be surprised. The most beautiful messages come out and how they tie in. It's always amazing to me. So let's get into this. We're talking about where can you be more ambitious or have more ambition in your life. The interesting thing here is we have the water cup, the water chalice, and the page of swords. Okay. This tells me right here, okay, that this water chalice is your emotions, okay? And this page of swords, because when we think of the page of swords, they are young and they are curious and they have all kinds of new ideas and new ways that they want to do things and new ways to learn, new ways to communicate, new ways of thinking, all right? New ways of taking action on things with the swords. So this is all very air. This is very water. Air, that swords, is your thoughts, your words, your action, and having clarity about it. I want to say it's like your logic or rational thought. I love this is my new phrasing now. Your ego here with your emotion, your intuition, your feelings, your gut feelings, okay? So what I feel for you, pile 2, is that there is an internal conflict with you of head over heart, ego over intuition, that your thoughts and words and action don't always jive with your intuition and feeling about situations or events or people in your life. It's like they're on opposite ends. But here's the thing, and that I'm going to astrology on this. In astrology, there are oppositions. It's 2 planets that are, you know, 180 degrees apart, okay? But here's the thing. They may be opposite, which you think, oh, well, then they are conflicted, whatever. No, they're meant to harmonize. You're meant to find a way of coming in and meeting in the middle. That is what an opposition in astrology is, okay? They are opposite, but they are also capable of coming in and meeting in the middle. Now, this is interesting. I'm going to tell you, for example, if you were born on a full moon or in and around a full moon, you will have, okay, your sun sign and your moon in opposition. all right? Your head and your heart. And you're always, I refer to it as having the little devil and the little angel on your shoulder. It's like one's, you know, you're hearing this, you're hearing this, but they can work together. So I feel this is where you need to get more ambitious when it comes to, so like turning it up, being willing to do the work, committing to it, okay? Think about all the other things that you have ambition for in your life or that you're very ambitious about. But when it comes to ourselves, I was saying this in pile 1, we tend to not be quite so ambitious. We're just okay to kind of let it slide and just, you know, it is what it is. But it doesn't have to be. It is what it is. You can make it whatever you want, pile 2. So I feel like for you, this is where you need, I've been talking about turning the dial up to 10 to find balance there. In astrology, we also call it the third party observer. Think about when pile 2, you have a friend or family member or whoever, coworker comes to you, they are spilling it all and they're asking for your advice. Well, it's easier for you to give them advice because you're looking at it as a third party. You have no skin in the game, okay? So to speak. It's kind of the same thing here. That is them working. You need to stand back, bringing in both pieces and look at it objectively. That's what you need to have more ambition, or to take more ambition towards, to get that balanced, all right? But let's keep going. So what could be blocking you from this? Challenge, standing up for your rights, the Chariot. This almost is making me feel like in the past, okay? In the past, you may have, either way, you may have went all in on feelings. You may have all went in on your thoughts and your words, okay? And you never seem to win, quote unquote, okay? Maybe you got bashed for it. Maybe you were criticized or ridiculed for it, made fun of for it. Maybe it didn't get you anywhere. It always seemed that no matter which way you went, one time you went with feelings and you got put down. So you thought, okay, well, next time I'm in a situation like this, I'm going to go with my thoughts, my words, my action. And you got knocked down. I feel like that's what's blocking you. You don't know which way to go. Okay? And it's not just you, pile 2. We all struggle with this, all right? But you came to this pile today because you could have something going on in your life right now where you're like, it doesn't matter which way I approach it. I'm not right. I'm not correct. I'm not getting any resolution to it. Okay? So, you know, and maybe also something that was blocking you was you were moving too fast. You tended to maybe make split-second decisions, whether it's feelings or thoughts, all right, mind or heart, whatever. You were just like, okay, no, thinking that, okay, I'm not going to think about it too long. I'm going to just go with my first instinct. But still, I feel, again, like it was holding you back, right? And that was the challenge. So what I want to say here, when we move into how can you be more open to this in your life, like wanting to try to find this balance, to be that third party observer. One, I'm going to say don't move so fast. Okay, let's just go with that. You need to just slow it down and you need to take a little time to think about it. Even think of Hangman a little bit, right? Where you just kind of like, let me look at this at 360 and let me make base my decision like that, but as a third party observer. So in other words, if I was going to give this advice to my friend, family member, whoever, what would I say? What would I do if I were in their situation? It's always easier to put yourself, if you were in someone else's situation, and find the solution, okay? So I feel this is an important message that you need to hear today. Now, I said it like in Hangman, well, here's 4 of coins. This is hanging on tightly. But this is how can you be more open? Don't hang on so tightly, okay? Don't hang on to this challenge that you've faced in the past. Don't hang on to the results of that. But I always read Mordwin from the book because the messages are awesome. So let me go to Mordwin here and read the passage, okay? Because this is about how can you be more open to working on this, to trying to be that third party observer and letting go of the past hurts and challenge and difficulties when it comes to it, okay? And there's nothing wrong with this. I am this. I'm a full moon baby. I already said it, but I totally get this conflict, this opposition, and always trying to somehow pull them together. It's my life, so I totally understand it. But let's read Mordwin here, okay? Here's a little quote. Only you are the master of your destiny. Mordwin is an awesome character, hugely powerful and all-encompassing. He will open doors, put people or situations in your path, which all lead to you living your divine purpose. It is his responsibility to guide you to fulfill the contract you made in spirit before coming to earth for this particular incarnation. He says, you are the power, accept it as your own. Only you are the master of your destiny. Remember, if you're looking at this from not a spiritual, but a religious perspective, we all believe as well, because I believe both, that we made a plan with God. He has a plan for us, okay? Which is our destiny. We've come down here to achieve something. But some of us don't find our path once we get here because we don't remember what that is until we start searching for it and meditating and praying about it and asking for answers and guidance, okay? But with you are the power, I believe, along with spirit, God, source, universe, or whomever it is to you, you are the master of your own destiny, working along with them. But here's the thing. We come down here, we can call it free will, right? We make our own decisions. We can ask for guidance, but we don't necessarily have to take it, okay? Just think of when someone tries to guide you in your life. If you don't like that guidance, you go, I'll do my own thing, thank you. All right, so think of it like that. We do have, it doesn't mean that we are the power. I believe there is a higher power, and it is whatever that is for you. But we go there, we ask for help from that higher power, and we want that higher power. Think of it as your angels, your ancestors, however you want to think of it. Your dragons, right? But you make the decision in the end, okay? So here we go. His message is clear, so ignore him at your peril. That's meant to be funny. You have a job to do, so let's get on with it. You have the tools and the knowledge you need. Your self-doubt hinders you. Your time is now. The world needs to see your light. Step into your heart, and I will take the journey with you. He continues, your role is to take your light out into the world with me as your guide. Together, we are the master creators. As you discover your life purpose, acknowledge your fears and self-doubt, but do not be bound by them, right? For they cloud your truth. The clarity. We need third-party observer. Clarity of thoughts, clarity of feeling. Okay? It says, but do not be bound by them, for they cloud your truth. Follow your heart, feeling your way with truth and integrity. See how that ties in? It always amazes me every time. Don't hang on too tightly to what has happened in the past. Now, the last thing I want to talk about here when we're looking at these cards, and I'm going to read this because I feel it's important. If it's come out, it could mean something to you. But remember, this is about real life in the here and now, or it's already just happened or going to happen in the near future. A situation, event, a person that may cause challenge to you being able to fulfill your role of the third-party observer in your own life, for you to be able to let go of those past feelings of not being able to get it done or figure it out or being beat down for it, okay? They're wanting you to let go of that, to be firm and strong and clear. This is Artanus and Eris Lou, okay? It says, open yourself to the gifts that life brings. Be grateful and patient, and you will receive all that you require. Okay, so this is be patient with yourself, all right? Be thankful that you have the mental, I'm going to say this, the mental capacity, okay, and the emotional capacity, because some people don't. And that's another story all on its own, but you're hearing this message because you do, and you have the ability to be that third-party observer in your life and to run your life balanced, heart and mind. And with the 9 of coins, this always for me is, this is you achieving this on your own, okay? Doesn't mean that people might not help you along the way, or that, you know, give you guidance or advice or literally help, whatever it is. But in the end, I talked about it. You make the decisions for yourself. Only you can decide to be the third-party observer here. Only you can decide to let go of the past hurts when you were either running from feelings and emotions or your thoughts and words and action, okay? So what I want to say here about a current situation or event that may cause a bit of a challenge is something's going to come up where someone's going to try to come in and give you, quote unquote, their 2 cents worth, their advice. But they're not just giving it to you freely. They're giving it to you and they want you to do it. They want you to take it. They don't want you to make the decision. This can be in any area of your life and it's going to challenge you, right? They want you to make a quick decision. That's going to be the challenge or challenge of a situation, event, or person that's going to be coming in. They're going to want you, because it says be patient. No, they're going to want you to be impatient, to not think it through, to make a quick decision, or that along with, or they want to control your thoughts and actions about it, okay? So keep that in mind. You're turning your ambition up here on 10, on the dial to 10, to work on this and move through this. Okay, let's get some tarot here, pile 2. Just for further advice, guidance, clarity. We're talking about clarity here. Clarity of thoughts and feelings and words and intuition and actions. So let's get 3 cards out. 4 of Wands. This can all work out for you. This can be successful. This can be a reason to celebrate if you are willing to take on this challenge, okay? Like I said, we can be ambitious about a lot of things in our life, but it seems like when it's our own internal work, it's where we turn the dial down, because we just, and you know what, fair enough, we just don't want to deal with it. All right, King of Swords, we were talking about clarity. Here he is. He also come up in pile 1 too, which is interesting, but he is clear. He is mentally clear. He is smart. His intellect is high. He likes to be truthful about things, okay? So they want you to take on that energy. Be clear. The King of Swords is the King of Clarity, all right? You be the King of Clarity in your own life. Justice. That's where you're going to find, look, the balance. With justice, I always love to talk about justice in the sense that it is about getting balance, being fair, being clear, being just, okay? It is understanding that actions have consequences. All right. For example, here, when you were just running on one or the other, there were consequences and they usually didn't work out for you because it wasn't balanced. This is all about getting the balance. That's why this Justice card has just come out. All right. You make decisions, but fairly, balanced, heart and mind. Okay, love that. Let's get another dragon card. I said, you know, this is a dragon energy reading. We need to pull out the dragon cards. And I love my dragon decks. So let's go here. We have deep blue dragon. Keep you safe by clearing your pathway. Trust that you are protected. Walk on a path of light. Didn't Mordwin talk about you need to be the light out in the world? Walk on your path of light and know that you're protected by spirit, God, source, universe, whomever it is for you, okay? If you're out there and you're trying to be the best you that you can be and you're willing to do work on yourself, you are a light to others because other people see you doing that. It may be one person, it may be 10, it may be 100. So it's important that we do that in our life because you don't know who's watching and who may learn from it, all right? So next we're going to get, and I talk about this deck every time. Well, I don't know every time, but I did in pile 1. This is one of my first decks because I fell in love with the deck. There's a couple, 1 or 2 usually questions I find that can be helpful as you're working on this to kind of keep you on the straight and narrow. But the card is a dragon butterfly, but it's a real world butterfly and a flower or plant. And then I usually just kind of quickly, scan and just randomly pick a sentence to go to. And honestly, it usually ties in with the reading as well. So you know what? Let's get the card for you for this reading. Affection. Rose is the flower and Rhodonite blue. I'm going to hold that up so that you can see. I think that's how you say it. Rhodonite blue is the butterfly, okay? Aren't these cards, they're gorgeous. But let's look at the book and see here. Affection. I almost just want to say first, it's like loving yourself enough to want to have this balance in your life, to make clear, wise decisions in your life, okay? But let's get to affection here and see what it has to say. Affection. Who do I know that has great affection for me, and how does that make me feel? It's almost like that will be the feeling that you will want to attach to this balanced way of being, right? Because you're going to be making decisions with clarity in both areas, and it's going to make, or you should then feel a certain way. So think of, who do I know that has great affection for me, and how does that make me feel? Now, the other thing I like to do is just this, and I'm looking up at the ceiling right now. Stop and read the sentence. Think about those you feel great warmth towards. This could be family, friends, or anyone in your life you feel affection for. So it said, who do I know that has great affection for me? I went to that sentence because you also think about, who do you have great affection for, and how does that make you feel? And if you focus on that when you're feeling down and low and, like wanting to maybe even give up at times, think of that and imagine, what if every decision I make makes me feel like that? One last card for you here, pile 2. Beautiful reading. Love always supports you and aligns you with your true purpose. Beautiful. We talked about you finding your path, your purpose, right? We talked about it, I want to say back here with Mordwin, and maybe throughout. I don't always remember everything I say from the beginning. I usually find out when I go in to edit and do whatever, to take out all of my little coughs and interruptions and everything else that you don't need to hear, all right? But yeah, beautiful message for you, pile 2. I wish you all the luck with you being the King of Swords in your own life, okay? Thank you for being here. Check out my other readings if you feel like you need more advice and guidance. They are timeless. And I will see you maybe in another pile or in my next reading. Hi to those of you who chose pile 3, or this very pretty rhodonite, not rhodochrosite, rhodonite touchstone. Okay, I decided to do things a little bit different. It popped into my mind as I was creating the piles. Normally I do them, 2 at a time, all right? But this time I was feeling, I got inspired. I was shown when it popped in. San Tarot, I watch her readings. I love them for me. We are not the same readers at all, but she does lay all her cards out and she reads from there. So I love that style. I'm sure other people do it as well. She's just the one that popped into my mind for this, actually. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe then I need to change it up, right? You know, it's always for making me a better intuitive and a better reader. So I'm like, all right, let's do it. I'm going to lay them all out at once. But we will be pulling live tarot and oracle at the end, so stick around because this isn't going to be just your only sets of messages, okay? Or this could tie into one big message as it usually does. But, you know, each set, is its own. It's different. It's different all the time. But let's get right into this, okay? I'm going to lay them all out. Oh, now I did look at these last night because I forgot what pile 3 was about until this card come over. Okay. I usually make my piles at night because I like to create them. As you know how I flip through things, pile 3, and create those piles. And then what I like to do is I just set them with my selenite crystals overnight. Now it's the next afternoon and I am doing this reading, so I don't always remember what the cards are exactly until I see them again. But here we go. We're talking about ambition. Where can you be more ambitious? Where do you need to turn that ambition dial up to 10 in your life? I said in the other 2 piles, we are ambitious in many areas of our life, okay? Whether it's job, work, sports, whatever. What do we want? What do we want to go after? But when it comes to ourselves, we tend to turn that dial back down to 1 or 2 because it's usually something we don't want to do, don't want to face, whatever it may be. So I feel like that's where this reading with ambition or being ambitious is going. So in what area of your life can you be more ambitious in or have more ambition about? I'm going to say it, and I don't technically do love readings. When I do the Zodiac Taroscope short and sweet messages, I always say if you have your Venus in a specific sign, you can watch for that sign because you can look at it from a relationship perspective. But for all intents and purposes, I don't do love readings unless one comes out because pile 3. And this might not necessarily be romantic. It could be with other people in your life. So don't click off just because you're like, I don't need a romantic relationship. It can be love in any area of your life with people, okay? Platonic, familial, romantic, whatever. So let's get into this. You need to get out of the house. What I want to say here with the Hermit. All right. The Hermit is when you tend to, we can take it literal, but it's also when you tend to want to go inside and find the answers. Okay. I call it hermiting away. You need to take a little time out. You need to reflect on some stuff. And maybe that's exactly what this is. Maybe you have had a hard time in love, in a relationship somewhere in your life. Okay. I explained anywhere from platonic to romantic. Okay. Familial, anywhere in between and around. But I feel that you've kind of, you've blocked it off. You've shut it down for whatever reason. And they're saying the time is right. The time is ripe. You need to get out. You need to stop thinking about it. And you need to get out and find it. Okay? You need to get out and find it, or you need to turn the love dial up to 10. All right. Maybe if you're in a relationship or, and again, any relationship in your life, but it can be better. It's that type of thing. And I feel this will resonate with you. You're going to know what it is. Maybe it's your sibling and you're like, as kids, we were so close, or as teenagers, we were so close, or in our early 20s, we were so close, and then we've just grown apart. Well, that dial got turned down to 1 or 2. You need to turn it back up. I'm using a lot of dial here for turning the ambition up. You need to be as ambitious about your love relationships in your life as you are about anything else you're ambitious about in your life. Okay? Career, money, job, acquiring things, whatever it is. All right. Now, what's blocking you from this? Look, we have legacy, persistence, and the devil, that Ramsey. Oh, that Ramsey Bolton. He's the perfect devil card. I just got done watching you guys too. If you watch my things all the time, you know, because I use the Game of Thrones deck here. Because season 2 of the House of the Dragon come out. Well, I had to go back and watch season 1 because I watched it 2 years ago. I did that over the long weekend. Loved it because it's all about the Valerians and the Targaryens, right? So anywho, if you haven't watched it, go watch it. It starts to explain a lot about, you know, like I always want to call her Khaleesi, but Daenerys Targaryen and Jon Snow even, right? So, you know what? Back to this. Sorry, I get sidetracked whenever I start talking about it. Yeah, Ramsay's the perfect devil. He really is. But here's the thing. What's blocking you from this? You're holding on. You are chained to. And with legacy here, because legacy seems to be something that's passed down. Maybe it's the way your family is when it comes. Maybe you're a little cold and aloof and distant when it comes to love and relationships in your life, okay? For some of you. Maybe it is the, how did I want to say it? You're chained to old past, okay, because legacy, again, being passed down or from the past, I want to say, to past relationships and the way they worked out or didn't work out, I guess, would be the thing. How it is that maybe they caused you pain and grief, and it didn't matter how hard you tried to turn them around or shift them or make them better. It just never really worked out the way you wanted it to. And I feel that the block is you're still tied to that type of energy and those old legacy thought patterns, beliefs, and behaviors. Okay? So now let's talk about here, pile 3. Oh, Singold. He comes out in a lot of things, and I never remember from one month to the next what his thing is, but I read from the book what is written in the book about Singold here and how it may tie into this reading. But I know he comes out quite often. So when I see him, because I think he's like the old guy, he's like the big old guy, I know it's important. But here's the thing. The star card is here, and I'm going to read this in a moment. But you need to, I almost feel like you need to hitch your wagon to a new star. Okay? You need to realize that this is a time for you to have hope, to dream, to have wishes about, you know, wishing upon a star, about love in your life in whatever area or type of love that is. That this old doesn't have to be the way it's always going to be. You can cut and break these chains. This is like a new start. It's lit up. You look out that window. It doesn't matter how cold and dark it is. There is a star for you to hitch your dreams and hopes and wishes to. Hitch that wagon. Jump on it. Realize that all things are possible, and trust in spirit, God, source, universe, whomever it is for you, that they are going to bring that to you when you are ready and have cut the chains here. But let's read Singold here, okay? That is 12. Here we go. I'm going to read the quote first. Do that which lifts your heart to bring forth your deep inner smile from within. Well, already I love that. That's what you need to focus on. What makes you happy in this area, okay? What makes you happy? What is it that you want it to be? But let me read. Singold is the dragon of gratitude, and he arrives when we need to take notice of and acknowledge old negative patterns. He asks us to recognize old emotional blocks. For example, self-doubt, fear, jealousy. He has these words to say about gratitude. Review your life to date and find things to be grateful for so you can rejoice in who you are. Acknowledge the fears, envy, guilt, or anger within. Accept the niggling doubts. Admit they are present, for they are part of you. But you have no need to dwell here, for they are part of your past and no longer relevant to your life now. It's why you need to get out of the hermit mode. Right? It's why you need to come out of that old way of being. Okay. You've went in, you've thought about it. You know what it is, what that old legacy and thought pattern and the chains are. Oh, I love this message. Okay. Instead, revel in the pure joy of being alive. Seek the positive in your existence here on earth. Uncover the things to rejoice about. Do that which lifts your heart to bring forth your deep inner smile from within. Seek a totem to act as a reminder. This can be an object small enough to carry or wear daily, maybe a beautiful shell or a crystal. Set the intention within. Oh, you guys, I just realized now, and I just realized it right now because I was thinking of crystals. Rhodonite and rhodochrosite, both of them are pink. Love, okay? And the black with it, I feel is a color of protection, to protect your precious heart so that you can be grateful for your existence in your life and start thinking about what it is that you want. You can also, rose quartz, my little skull here, rose quartz, okay? What else? Any pink crystal, really. You can amethyst, you could carry with you, but any pink crystal, pink opal, pink calcite, okay? Any of those crystals, even green for your heart chakra, to open that heart chakra up to love, okay? Set the intention within the crystal to stay focused on being joyous and grateful so that when this totem is on your person, it reminds you that all is as it should be. You are learning the lessons of gratitude and you're exactly where you should be now. Okay, love it. So this message from Singled is you're where you need to be. You're here at this message today because this is where you need to be. Maybe you need it to hear you need to cut those old Ramsey chains away, that devil energy away, and you need to start being wishful and hopeful again when it comes to love in your life. Now, last thing I want to talk about before we get into more tarot and more oracle cards, okay, is situation, event, or person that may cause a challenge. So as you're starting to work on this, you're going to be challenged. We always are. And it's about, can you stay on the path? Can you keep the dial of the ambition that you're using to make this happen up at 10, up at 9 and 10? You don't want it to dip back down. Now I'm going to read the card because it come out for a reason, and there could be something on this card that will mean something to you, pile 3. Extend the trust within you to all things in existence, and it will set you free. Those who are free will always choose love. I almost feel like it's when you hitched your wagon onto maybe the thoughts, the feelings, the past here, right? This is about hitching your wagon. This is Mother Mary, and I don't know if it's XEO or XEO. I don't know how to say that. There's probably a way to say it and I'm just not getting it. Oh, anyway, I don't know. I was just thinking I was watching, those on YouTube here. There are the reaction channels, and sometimes when they don't know the name of a band like REM and they call it RAM, or there's been some other ones, right? Oh, REO Speedwagon, and they call it Rio Speedwagon, right? I feel like this is me right now with this word. I really don't know what to say, if it's just XCO or I don't know. But anyway, here's the thing. See how this is tying in here? It's all about love and being open to it and being grateful that you are even capable of it, okay? Because some people really are hurt so badly and deeply and may never come to a reading like this to be open to love again. But you're here for a reason, pile 3, and that is the reason they want you to be. This is when John and the sister, she's a name too. Okay, it might come to me. Anyhow, when they were sitting there reminiscing, right? That's what that Six of Cups is. It's remembering the happy times, the loving times, the kind times, the way things were when you were hopeful and, you know, you believed anything was possible. That's what I believe. Sansa Stark. There, I knew it would come to me. That is, I feel, where they kind of come together and realize they have a common goal here, okay? It's that. So what's the situation that may challenge this? Someone or a situation or event are going to come in, and I say everything for a reason, where if whoever or whatever it is isn't going to have the same goal as you, it's not going to be a common goal, okay? They're going to want something different, or the situation maybe leads to a different way, a different path, a different whatever, or an event, however that would come in. And it's going to challenge your new way of being and thinking. Okay. And the important message here from Spirit is stay the course. You know what? There will be a way around this person's situation or event, challenging though it may be, but where you get to keep your gratitude and your hope and your wishes and your heart open, where you don't go back into closing everything down and chaining yourself all back up and hitching your wagon back over here. You don't need to do that. Okay, so when that situation comes up, I always say, because that's going to be, it may be happening now, it could happen in the near future, all right? Remember this. There is a way for you to find common ground, I want to say. All right. I think it was in pile 2 or pile 1. I was talking about oppositions in astrology, and I'm going to mention it here. An opposition in astrology are when two planets are 180 degrees apart. And you know, here's the thing. It's when you're a full moon baby, for example. That's why I was talking about it in pile 2. It's your heart and your emotions and your mind and your thoughts are in opposition with one another. But here's the thing. They may be opposite, but they are capable of meeting in the middle. And I feel like I'm talking about that because that's what this is. Whatever this situation or event or person, whatever that energy coming in and around is, there is a way to meet it in the middle, okay? So just keep that in mind. Now, let's get some tarot here for further clarification, confirmation, advice, and guidance. These readings are always a little bit longer, pile 3, I know, but the messages in them are just so great. And you know what? It's one pile for the most part. People are watching one pile. If you choose to watch the others, by all means, go ahead. But you know what? It's once a month. Oh, these are just all popping out all the time here. Come on now. Keep it together. Keep it together, my little dragons. The energy is hot. Okay, there we go. I need 3. I don't know if I'm going to go. Oh, okay. 2. Is there 2 here? Just 1. Let's get one more. There's something that wants to come out in here. We've got 2. Is there a 3rd, or am I going to have to go in search of it? Do you have a 3rd here? Or am I? There we go. Okay. So, number 1, out came the 5 of Cups. There we are. Out came the 4 of Swords, even better, all right? And out came the Sun, the best card in the deck. All right, pile 3, let's go through this for you, and then we're going to do a couple more oracle cards. 5 of Cups, you don't need to feel emotional lack in your life anymore. If you're opening your heart and you're willing to do the work and let go of the legacy, the past, there is love for you in whatever type of relationship it is. You don't need to feel like you are not worthy and that there isn't anything there for you. You may, I told you need to come out of hermit mode here. The 4 of Swords is you may need to, as you're coming out and during the work on this, you may have to take the occasional time out and just get your thoughts together, get some clarity on the situation, and then you continue to move forward. But here's the thing. If you're willing to do this work, look, there's nothing but happiness for you, okay? This is the sun. This is shining the spotlight down on you in a good way. All right. This is Spirit saying, you do this work, you open your heart up, you attach yourself, your wagon to a new star. There's nothing but good for you here. Okay. Happiness, joy, peace, contentment. Love that message. Let's get another dragon card here, because as I say, we can never have too many. I love my dragon decks for these dragon readings, right? These dragon energy readings, or rather the series, I guess. Pile 3. There we go. Okay. Whoa, I'm just knocking everything over. Golden crested or Christed dragon brings you higher love so that you can embody the Christ light. You might want to Google what that is, okay? Absorb the Christ light. You are protected. Expand your heart and remain fifth dimensional. Yeah, keep your vibration up. Keep the love alive, the hope, the joy, the wishes, all on the up and in the positive, not back here in this held down, tied up, devil negative energy. Okay, love that. Now, let's get one more oracle before we go. Oh no, sorry. I forgot my other deck that I've been bragging about in the last 2 piles. Sorry, pile 3. Felt like I almost shortchanged you there. Love this deck. I've had it almost since the beginning of my decks, and I now have like, oh my God, hundreds. Okay, so I'm just going to say that. I collect decks. It's like, you know, some people like shoes. I don't necessarily care for shoes so much. I'm kind of a flip-flop girl, but I love it. I love a good oracle or tarot deck. So there's going to be a butterfly on here. It's actually a dragon butterfly. These cards are so pretty. There's usually in the book 1 or 2 sentences that will help keep you as you're working through this to just, I don't know, keep you on the straight and narrow, just give you some inspiration in some way. And there's a real life butterfly and plant as well that could mean something to you. So, compassion, elder flower, and large blue is the butterfly. So feel free to look those up, okay? I'm just going to put it right here. But yeah, having compassion, having love, having it for yourself is important. But let's look at compassion here and see what is said. And then I usually just do a quick scan with my finger not looking and find a sentence as well. But here it is. How can I show myself more compassion and understanding? And you need that to keep your heart space open, right? And who needs my compassion today? Other than yourself, okay? You need it too, but who else maybe? Is it that other person in your life? Maybe for some of you, this reading is about enhancing and making better the love that you already have with someone, okay? So don't forget to look up elderflower, could mean something to you, and the large blue butterfly could mean something to you. Now I do this, I'm looking up at the ceiling and I'm just going to find a sentence. I love this. We may not agree with every view or idea people express, but we can show compassion while holding our own views sacred. I said that down in here in this situation that might come up. There is a middle ground, okay, which would be holding your own views sacred. You don't have to agree with them, but you can have compassion. And maybe by having that compassion, it brings you to the middle ground. Love how these messages tie together. Let's get one last oracle card here for you, pile 3. I'll tell you right now, I do not regret for 1 second doing these readings this year. It's been so much fun. Let your love overflow. At the end of your life, you will be asked, how deeply did you love? These are not all about love, these cards here, just FYI. So I love that this card come out. I'm going to read it one more time. Let your love overflow. At the end of your life, you will be asked, how deeply did you love? Pile 3, beautiful message here, okay? A little bit of work to do, Not always easy, but just stick with it, okay? You are worthy of having this love, care, and compassion, love and compassion in your life. If you need more advice, guidance about this or anything else, check out my readings. They are timeless. Trust that you will be led to the one that you need to hear. If not, I may see you in another pile for this Dragon episode 9 for the Dragon Diaries series, or I'll see you in one of my next readings. Thanks so much.